Alright, so what we're planning on making is we're going to make a survival tool, and it's going to be basically it's called the Wolverine, and it's for chopping and cutting, and you can do all kinds of stuff. We got some plate steel that we basically got at the salvage store for $4. We got some wood here, maple, to make our tang, the handle on the tang. What we're going to do is we're going to take the grinder with a grinding wheel, and we're basically going to trace this onto here, our pattern, and then we're going to grind it out onto here, and then we're going to get it all cleaned up, file it all down, and that. So hang on, we're going to show you as we go along here what we're doing. Well, there's the cutout pattern. Took about an hour and a half to grind it out. There's the tongs for the tang, and then here we'll put little notches here for cutting, tipping it over and cutting a tree. Put a little notch in, or drill a little hole there for cutting wire. Sharpen all that around there. That'll be for cutting heavy stuff. And then nice and sharp in through here. We'll get her all filed down and all ready and stuff, and then we'll take and we gotta harden it. So that's the start of it. Alright, what we're doing now is we're just basically kind of shaping it all out. We got the tang pretty well done. We put some grooves in, so when we put the handle grip on there with the epoxy, we're gonna be good. We got this done. We drilled a little hole so we can put a piece of paracord. But what we're doing is we're just kind of working it down. We're just kind of working it down. We're going to get this all flat here. We'll sharpen all the way around here, and then this will be all sharp. And this is going to have little grooves all the way down here. As soon as I get all of this done today, we're going to build a fire, get it in, heat treat it twice. So it's good, and it's really, we take the hardness and increase the hardness as much as we possibly can, so it'll hold a nice edge. So I'm going to get back to grinding. Well, there it is, pretty much ready to, basically a little bit more grinding, and then we're going to heat treat it. And it should be pretty much ready to go. I don't know. It doesn't have an edge yet, but you can see, just in raw form, how it's going to chop. I mean, it's going to be great for doing all kinds of stuff. We'll put a nice handle on it, and it should be in good. I think what I'm going to do now is drill a little hole through right up here, and that's going to be able to put wire on, bend it back and forth, bust wire. So I'm going to do that right now, and then I'll grind on it in a little while. Alright, the next process in making yourself a Wolverine is you're going to build a fire, which we did, and you're going to set the knife down into the coals, let it set in there, try and get it as hot as you possibly can, red hot if you can. And then we're going to just take a bucket of water and quench it. I did it once, and I'm going to do it one more time, and that should harden it up enough to do what I need. I'll let this just kind of burn right down, get into the coals real good. That should give it one more real good heat treating, and what that does is harden it, give it a good harden, changes the molecular structure of it. We'll quench it again, and you want to quench it quickly, because that kind of just tightens the molecules up, hardens it up. So anyway, that's what we did. We did cut some grooves in the top, and I didn't show you that. But what I will do is I will show you how I cut those grooves in there and whatnot. But the next step will be to clean it all up with the grinder, get it all nice and polished up, and then take a file and start sharpening it. But what I did is I used this little disc, which is a little flat disc, and then on the top of the Wolverine I just cut little slits and then just kind of rounded them a little bit, just a little blunt point, and that way you can flip the knife over, run it, and that. I'll show you when I get it out of the fire. We're going to let that lay in the fire for a little bit longer. We did make part of the handle for it, which is right here, and we'll make 2 of these, put them on either side, shape it real nice. I'm either going to go with that or some hardwood. I haven't decided yet, but we'll figure it out as we go. So anyway, that's it for that. Bentley just hanging out like always, and anyway, we'll go pull that out of the fire in a little bit. Alright, we're going to grab it here and we're going to quench it. Okay, and there it is, and you can see the little notches that I've placed in the top. So it's probably heat treated pretty well. It looks pretty, you know, pretty good on a level. So now it's ready to be just sharpened, and you can almost tell by the sound of it that it definitely has heat treated. So now we're going to start grinding and clean it all up, put the handle on it, be ready to go. So that's where we're at. Well, there it is. It's starting to come together. We've got this is all sharp here all the way down into here. We've got the handles kind of started, little thing to put a lanyard on it. We'll glue these up tonight. I'm going to try and sand this all down, get it nice, ready for painting. You can see the little grooves I put in here, and that's got some sharpness on it, so you can tip that over and cut through a branch. That'll cut through a piece of wire. You can stick a wire in there, bend it back and forth. The point, like I said, it'll probably cut an apple right now, but anyway, we'll continue to sharpen it, continue to work on it. I think I got it down to where it's heat treated enough. Anyway, you know, it's just a start, and I don't know, we'll probably build another one, see how that one turns out. But that's basically a little mini Wolverine. So we'll show you some more after I get it sanded down and make it look a little more shiny and get it ready for painting. Okay, so what we did is we used a 2-part epoxy, and what we did is we made as I remember yesterday, we took a couple of these pieces, which is popple, so it's a little bit of a hardwood, and we basically 2-part epoxied it onto the tang, and then I took the grinder, let it set overnight, and I kind of somewhat shaped it down to the tang. Of course, I put a little thing on there so you can put your wrist through here and then hang onto the knife, whatever. And then I just took some 100 grit sandpaper, and I'm just basically kind of working this down, trying to get the burn marks out from the grinder and getting it nice and you know, shaped to the hand. And then I'm going to varnish it, and you can see it. I mean, it's really nice and smooth. We'll get it all. It's got a great grip right now, but it's turned out good. We'll show you a picture of it. I'm going to continue sanding on it, and I'll put a coat of stain on it, and then I'll pull it out, and you can take a look at it, and I'll show you the finished product. It's looking good. The Wolverine homemade. Well, there it is. We basically got her done, and there it is. Got the handle all done. Just going to put some polyurethane on it, but it is basically done. And as you can see, I've got a band-aid here. I'm bleeding here. I just happened to kind of grab it and run my hand over this edge here, and I cut both fingers, so it's extremely sharp. I mean extremely sharp. It'll peel an apple. We tried that already. Works great. So there it is. I've got a little bit of paint on it, so I'm going to let it dry, and I've got a little bit of polyurethane. Got a little bit of polyurethane on it, and so I'm letting that dry. But that's basically a copy of the Wolverine, and that is a badass knife. It's probably I don't know, a couple, 2-3 pounds. Going to try and make a sheath for it. But that thing will split wood, cut, chop trees. I mean, it is definitely a badass knife. There is no doubt. That is a major survival knife. So anyway, we'll show you here a little bit, maybe a little bit what it'll do. I'm going to try and let this polyurethane dry. As you can see, I got a little bit of blood on here already, but you can see I cut the shit out of my finger there. That one I had to go bandage up, and I just happened to grab it, and I just slipped, and it just cut both those fingers wide open. So it definitely is sharp. There's no doubt.